Hi, I would like to welcome you to our webinar. This is Sevil Çalışkan Özcan. I work for TAV Technologies as a marketing manager. Today, in this webinar, we will be talking about reinventing airport business with our distinguished speakers. Our first speaker will be Mr. Simon Zitters. He's the Senior Vice President and COO at Almaty International Airport in Kazakhstan. He'll be sharing his views and experiences about operational and financial efficiency at the airports. Our second speaker will be Mr. Kerem Öztürk. He's the General Manager of TAV Technologies. He'll be sharing his insights about the change in the aviation industry, digitalization trends, and airport technology solutions. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to use the Q&A section. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Simon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. I hope everyone is hearing me. So, Sevil, if you're hearing me, just please wave. So, good. And so, presentation is working well. I hope so. There are no interruptions in a connection, and always good. So, very welcome from quite hot Almaty city, and hot both in terms of the weather and in terms of COVID situation, which actually harming our industry a lot. And today I will go through some operational and financial efficiency at the airports. I will try to share my experience from Almaty Airport as well, my previous company in Latvia, Riga Airport, and I hope we are having some teenagers actually together with us, since a lot of people might connect from a home today. So if there are some kids around you, please don't push them away from my presentation, because this presentation actually might be very valuable not only for industrial professionals but as well for kids as well. Since I'm going to talk a bit about kind of new normal in our life. What is being a bit difficult, actually, for I believe for all of us as in the industry professionals, we are talking not with the humans. We are talking with the plastic boxes, which we are calling as personal computers. And for my generation, for my age, I'm 44 years old. This is not nice. While somehow pandemic is showing that for kids they get to use it, and this new normal, what I strongly believe might stay for a while. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, dear kids, let's move forward. Let's move forward with a first slide, which I believe many of you saw it before. Nothing unique, just a pure statistical data which are showing. Something, while some bars are always showing us something, and if we are analyzing passenger traffic market from 45 to 2021, we clearly can see that COVID situation hit us very heavily and very sharply in terms of the passenger traffic flow. While if we would look on a cargo flows, then these lines would look a bit more nice, and this, frankly speaking, automatically pushing us to think a bit more widely, because what we can see here, impact is on air traffic passenger flow, not on a cargo business itself. So first of all, how I'm seeing this line. First of all, just for overall information. So we are back on a passenger amounts which we had September of 2001, and there are a lot of question marks. Will we be back? And what I strongly believe, in one day, of course, we will be back. But in the meantime, there will be a new normal in the market. And about this new normal, we frankly speaking have to start to think today, not tomorrow or week, months or years later, because those airports we will start to think about the new normal, new life, where computer technologies will be evolved much more. will win, and will have recovery opportunities much faster as the airports will stay with existing or previous setups. So basically, back in 2001, when we had the terroristic attacks in the United States, the difference in the market was a huge. We didn't have so many computer technologies we are having today, and even those technologies that we are having today might be outdated 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years later. I mean, this market will IT technologies will grow very, very fast and very sharply, and these kind of things we should take into consideration. Of course, if we are looking on our potential passengers, if we are looking on our potential employees, workers at the airport, we have to remember that those people are now either kids or, in a best case, teenagers, and those people are get to use this kind of computer technologies. They got to use it distance work for many countries because of COVID, different kind of restrictions. Schools was on a distance base. Every kind of after school activities was on a distance base. And of course, kids, they love to see their friends, but in the meantime, they don't want to use, they don't want to spend much time on in a traffic to reach the school, to communicate with the teachers, and this might be the new normal actually for those that generation when they will grow up, when they will join to labor market, when they will start to make their businesses. They will have different kind of approach as many of us are having today. Again, just the figures, and one more time figures. Of course, we all know that COVID hit us quite sharply, and the question mark is when the situation will be back to at some level, to the normal level. There are sources which are saying that it might happen not before 2024. There are sources who are saying that recovery might happen a bit faster. If I'm just looking on existing situation, when all restrictions came into the force, actually no one believed that this will stay for so long time. We all had a feeling that this will be with us. All restrictions will be with us for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, but not for a longer time. And unfortunately, now we are seeing that tendencies are a bit different. So at the beginning, I said greetings from a very hot Almaty city. And if I'm looking on comparing European airports with Almaty airport itself, so what we are having today now more restrictions. New type of COVID are coming. Governments are pushing us for additional safety requirements, which is actually not very easy. For a short term, of course, what we are dealing with the needs to cut the cost. We are dealing with the needs to keep quality at the same level or even improve it. And of course, we have to deal with the needs to increase efficiency. And this kind of combination in a line with the uncertain market where regulations are changing very, very fast. Sometimes even within a couple of days, we are having one rules and then new rules are coming in force. These are pushing us in a quite hard situation to combine cost, quality, and efficiency very well. While at the same time, of course, we have always to think about the passengers healthy, about our staff healthy. We have to think about handling capacity in the airports itself, since usually airports are just the buildings. Those buildings are being constructed for a certain amount of passengers without restrictions, and those restrictions are pushing us in some quite tight frames. airlines around the world now are starting to increase their flight amounts. Passenger traffic are growing, while safety requirements are growing as well. Meaning airports are in push to think a bit more widely how to handle all of those kind of requirements which are generated by new quality targets. It needs to keep very high level of efficiency and of course deal with the cost side as well. So this kind of situation, of course, are pushing us to raise a lot of questions and look for answers on the questions. So we have to deal with the social distancing in the airports. We have to deal with the different requirements for minimum connecting times during airplane handling. We have to deal with staff healthy and lacking of the staff because of first of all sicknesses, contact persons, and so on. So, a food supply. This is another problem in many airports, especially if we are having very long connecting times between the flights, restrictions for business lounges, restrictions to sell the food, and so on. So these kind of figures are making up not very nice combination, and in a short term, of course, we have to find a way how to fix it. So that way, during day-to-day operation, of course, we have to deal with three quite big boxes. We have to deal with immediate opportunities, what we could do today. We have to deal with the midterm opportunities and the long-term opportunities. And midterm opportunities are actually one of the most uncertain parts, because as soon as you are creating something which might help to solve the handling business itself, government coming with some new legislations, and again you have to shape everything from the beginning. In the meantime, what I'm seeing in the market, of course, there are airports who are dealing with collaboration with the stakeholders better, and airports who are dealing a bit worse. But this is one of most important part in this new normal. We have to take into account needs of all stakeholders. And I immediately will jump to midterm opportunities, where as a last bullet, I'm saying collaboration with the government. This is being something where actually we might include this part in immediate opportunities or in midterm opportunities, because if we are talking about immediate opportunities, collaboration with a different kind of government requirements and law requirements are being very important as well for immediate opportunities. Since here I need to remind the beginning what I said, that we are in a new normal. We are having a new generation in the market. Let's say people who are now 20, 22 years old. Those people really like use cell phones. They are making different kind of photos in the airports. They are making movies. They are writing blogs and so on. And as soon as they are making some loud announcements about the situations in the airports, government are becoming a bit more active, since there are some logic how government are working, and the one of the things the government are working on a public. They need to show the public that government people are doing something. So that way, as part of immediate opportunities, as soon as government members are seeing that there are some gaps between legislation and reality, some different kind of obstacles are coming from a legal point of view. Very once airports around the world, those are just the buildings, and those buildings are being constructed for this old norm. But now we are in a new normal. Airline traffic are growing up, and the amount of passengers in aircraft cabins are growing up as well. So that's why collaboration between the stakeholders as well as government representatives are being quite important. For midterm opportunities, that's the thing what actually we cannot focus for today, but we have to plan it in the future. We have to revise all our investment plans. And what is very important to focus on a different kind of digitalizations out and automatization, because generation which will come into the market 5, 10, 15 years later, they will be more focused on IT technologies. Those people, those people. If you will put them in a situation that they have to come to the check-in agent to make a check-in, or maybe they have to click and use a different kind of IT tools. Most probably they will spend a longer time just to try to find a way how to make either online check-in, line management or something, but they will not come to the people. They will not talk. They love technologies. So this kind of things should be taken into consideration when we are talking about different kind of investments. And then long-term opportunities. So here I'm mentioning that this might be again a new reality in the market, both for employees and for our passengers as well. In the employee side, what we are seeing, a lot of people are working on a distant place, and many countries, even COVID situation, are being stabilized, and people might come back to the offices. In many countries, what we are seeing that the government representatives are saying, this is okay even for government entities. People can continue work from home because it's a bit more generating a bit more cost saving. No needs for offices, no needs for additional utility costs. People are get to use online meeting opportunities, and everything working well. And in terms of any kind of digitalization needs in the airports, this is actually very safe. By time, any kind of process in the airports might be automized. The only thing what so far I'm not having any ideas how to automate is being baggage loading and offloading from an airplane. I believe that humans still will be needed, but if we are looking forward to check-in process, this might be automated. Security process, it might be automated. Office works, it might be at some stage, it might be automated. Of course, business development always should stay. This is a business development and human brains are needed there, but accounting, revenue management system, all of these kind of technologies might be automated. And if you are looking on an aircraft business itself, there are this big difference in an airplane construction and the airport construction. Let's say in an aircraft, a lot of processes, if we compare it for the last 20 years, are being automated now. The cockpit crew mainly consists now from 2 people. 30 years, 40 years ago, it was a huge amount of cockpit crew. It was a commander, co-pilot, radio guy, onboard engineer, navigator, and so on. Now all of these kind of tasks are being done by computers. So this is, frankly speaking, a task for all of us to think about digitalization opportunities. And here, I just wanna mention some of the things which might be automated, and at some stages being automated. For example, if we are putting attention on biometric data. 10 years ago, we had just paper passports. Now, many of us are using biometric passports. So. Which increase handling speed at the airports a lot. Any kind of contactless self-service. This is our new normal, because I really don't think that Volt will recover from a virus, and we just simply forgot about 2020-21 completely. This will take a long time to forget that we had this kind of virus situation, and we are having a lot of viruses in the world. So the one virus is leaving, another might come. So that's why this new normal is actually very, very important for any kind of operations in passenger terminals. Different kind of triggers for a quick airport developments. So I'm just making notes about some of them. I will not read all of these sentences in a slide while I'm talking. I believe each of you can do this by yourself. The one of the things what is very important in this new normal is strategy for non-aviation revenue. I will not say any kind of golden formulas because same as for a kids' toys, no one knows which toy will be best sold. Same for books or movies. Sometimes most crappy kids' toys are being sold all around the world, and people who are creating this are earning millions or billions. So very same is for a non-aviation revenue, where there might be a lot of course opportunities in airport terminals. We have to focus on needs for people, and we have to compare this combined with the security requirements which are being put by industry. What kind of things you can do in an airport? But airports should be multimodal center where people are not coming only for a flying, but they are coming for just for a fun, just to visit the restaurants, visit the cinemas, and so on. So airport should be simply multimodal center with a different kind of opportunities. And this we actually saw quite well during COVID pandemic. We had empty terminals. We completely lost or heavily lost non-aeronautical revenues. And if we're talking about aeronautical revenues, depends on the airport structures. If we had huge cargo traffic, and we know in the world we are having airports which are more focused on cargo traffic instead of passenger traffic, those airports was really okay in terms of aeronautical revenues. For passenger airports, this was a bit hard time because car parkings was empty, duty-free shops was empty, no need for advertising and so on. So that's a combination with different kind of opportunities at the airport that people might do in areas might help a lot for all of us in our airport business. So but those are really some notes about possible digitalizations in an airport business. Again, I will not read all of this while I'm talking. You can put attention on all bullet points. But really once, during any kind of changes now in the market, the one thing is today's situation, and we have to handle and stabilize today's situation. But from another side, we have to look how market will look 5 years later or 20 years later, because everything what we know will not be true 20 years later. Very same for a cell phones. 20 years ago, we had a cell phone with a option to call, have a warning alarm, and game usually was a snake. So now cell phones are being small computer where we are having a lot of things, and as additional option we are having opportunity to call via this device. So this is a big kind of new normal for airport passenger airports and all our lives in that industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope this presentation was valuable for you. As I said at the beginning, I'm actually for my generation, I'm being a bit bored to talk with a plastic box and not have an audience in front of me. This is not nice, and I believe one day we will return back to the halls, but this will be for our generation, and most probably youngsters will never understand needs for these kind of things. So very vast. Thank you and see you around.
So thank you very much, Simons. It was really very interesting. We have heard from you, your experiences, and also your expectations after the pandemic. So I saw actually a lot of connections to my presentations because you were using so many technological words. So it shows actually how technology and operation should be aligned. So I will try also in my presentation to provide some information about it. So let me share my presentation with you. So I hope you can see my presentation. Okay. So I would like to welcome you again to our webinar, Reinventing Airport Business and Airport Technology. And thank you very much for your kind participation and for your valuable time. So Simons explained us actually that all the airports are experiencing really hard times at the moment in the aviation sector. And we still do have a lot of questions, and we do not really have all the answers to all these questions, like how long this pandemic is going to be in our lives, and when the traffic numbers are going to recover. And we are all looking for new ideas and listening to the experiences of all other stakeholders in this business. Definitely, I will not provide you all the information and all the magical answers today, but maybe we can discuss which ideas and topics we should prioritize to address today's and post-pandemic operational challenges. I organized my presentation actually under three categories. The first one is what are the changes in aviation industry after pandemic? The second section will cover what are today's digitalization trends in aviation and especially airport operational technologies. And which changes are we observing today in passenger behaviors and how it is going to evolve after the pandemic. So Simons has also already showed some numbers, and we are really all very familiar with these figures. So I don't want to go into the details of that, but I want to share actually my observation with you after the first shock in China. The rest of the world was watching carefully what was happening. But in the very first beginning, actually, we didn't react maybe as fast as it should be. And we were maybe thinking it is far away and will not affect us. Also, it is not a topic for today to discuss the politics and the health strategies of that time. But when we also started to find out that we have similar cases in our own countries, the restrictions started and our normal daily life was affected enormously. So when I look back at that time, I don't know if you had similar experiences, but the people's first reaction in our country was to empty the supermarkets. So not only the governments or the authorities were thinking what to do against the pandemic, but also the people had their own strategies to protect themselves. So their behavior started to change. And as a result, after the restrictions and closing the borders, we have faced actually a dramatic decline in passenger numbers. Some airports had 80 to 90% traffic loss, and some had to close some terminals, or maybe part of the terminals. But some airports really were totally closed down. And these airports, as Simons also said, cargo airports maybe were not affected so badly, but the passenger airports, they had actually, as a result, almost zero revenue. So everyone started with crisis management, and they started their damage control processes, and in order to minimize actually the effects of the pandemic situation. First reactions of airlines and airports was also to look and analyze their OPEX items. So where can we cut some costs, right? So because the logic was very easy, if there is no revenue, theoretically there should be also no OPEX, which is of course not possible. So this was definitely impossible to zero the OPEXs in the airports. But what we understood actually during this phase, that scalability was very important in order to be flexible, in order to increase our adaptation capabilities, because adaptation is critical for survival. Simons also explained it actually very carefully and very good that the technology is now currently a very important tool to support our daily life, to support our operations, the tasks that we are doing in the offices. And most of the works we are accomplishing today is in front of the computer, like this webinar actually. So we are all sitting in front of our computers and trying to exchange ideas and our experiences. And we are all using different applications for different tasks, for example, like planning, task assignment, controlling, and the expectations from the applications are also changing and rapidly increasing. What are we expecting actually from the applications? We want them to predict the future for us, and we want them to optimize our resources, and for doing this, we expect them to use the latest technologies like the artificial intelligence, optimization algorithms. And we want them to be mobile, so because we don't want to stick in an office and control the whole environment from our office. We want all these features also in a mobile format. We want the applications to notify us in case of important changes or emergencies. And of course, very important, we want them to understand what is happening in the airports by using some sensors, the IoT technologies and so. And we want the applications to automate the operations, taking these real-time information into consideration. So actually it shows how our expectations also evolved during this time, and with the help of the technology, our expectations have increased enormously. Because as human beings, we like simplicity, and we frankly speaking, we want to control the whole environment just using a tiny mobile phone and making sure with that mobile phone that everything works well and we are not experiencing any issues and problems in our airports or other sectors in different environments. So as TAV Technologies, of course, when we were observing all these changes in the behavior of the passengers and the technological changes and so, we have started to develop our new airport management suite, keeping, of course, all these requirements in mind. So what we have did actually, we have completely renewed our software products. And now we have a very powerful application, which is modular, which uses the latest artificial intelligence technologies, integrated with the IoT sensors, and equipped with prediction algorithms and automation tools, in order to really address all the things that I have used in the previous minute. And of course, what we have tried to do is, when taking all these requirements into consideration, we wanted to put all these features into the mobile applications using the mobile capabilities of our mobile phones. So what is the target? Of course, the target is to ensure operational excellence, revenue enhancement, and increased productivity. So the new developed product that we are calling as TAV Technologies TAMS is our new flagship product. We are working on this platform actually since 3 years, but during the pandemic period, we have received, of course, a lot of requests that should be integrated into this new platform. So this team is working since 3 years for the development of this new platform with a team of 100 software developers and engineers. So it was a huge team, and there is a great effort behind it. But the result is actually very, very promising. So it is, as I said before, it is a modular software. It is completely scalable and uses the highest technology available today in the market. So, you know, as people in the aviation sector and airport business, we love all abbreviations. So TAMS is actually the abbreviation of Total Airport Management Suite, and it has a complete new user experience and user interface design. Brings you personalization features so that you can customize your application for your own needs and requirements, just with drag and drop capabilities. It includes, of course, all the well-known modules like the AODB, RMS, FIDS, CMS, etc. But of course, these products are now coming with much more powerful capabilities and functionalities, and with a complete different look and feel. So it is today much more easy to use these applications than before. This platform is supporting multi-airport concept. Of course, also supports multi-language, and it is cloud ready, because today we are all discussing actually which applications should be running on the on-prem systems, which should be transferred to the cloud. And so, but we are currently bringing you the flexibility with this new platform to implement it on cloud, public cloud, or on your own cloud, or on your on-premise systems in the normal data centers, as we did before. It is bringing you a lot of mobile features, as I said before. So all the functionalities that you can use on a desktop computer can be also used now in the mobile version of this platform. And what is also very important for us was to provide you the real-time dashboards using, again, the latest technologies that are available today with machine learning, with big data concepts, IoT integrations. And also very important is the integration now of computer vision technology into our software platform. So when I'm saying this platform is scalable, I mean actually that the same functionalities can be used by airports with PAX numbers maybe below 1 million, but also by airports with more than 70, 80 million passengers. So each functionality and the power of the solution can be implemented in a very small airport, but also in a big airport, and they can actually benefit from the same advantages of the solution. The solution is completely modular. That means you can of course use the complete suite if you have the requirements in your airport, but also you can have only one module that can be implemented as a standalone. So it is also bringing you this high flexibility, this scalability, and it is definitely a very robust and stable solution. So when we look actually in the aviation industry, especially in the airports, we know actually that you as an airport operator, you have to deal with many stakeholders, right? So you have your airlines, you have the authorities, the air traffic control is sometimes managed and controlled by the government. So there are ground handlers, and you have to manage many KPIs. But all these stakeholders have one common goal, actually, and a very important goal, which is the smooth processing of the passengers and their baggage. And we all want to decrease the waiting times, increase the comfort of our passengers. And now it was actually very important, but it has become much more important with the pandemic. And after the pandemic, it will be like that. We have to make sure and ensure their security and health. And we want them, of course, to enjoy their journey by spending their time at our airports. So they can enjoy their time in the shops, in the cafes and restaurants. And we should give them the opportunity and the time for that instead of waiting in queues. Our new passenger processing application, CAPS, platform. And the baggage reconciliation system, BRS, will definitely help you to achieve these important objectives at really affordable prices, because we have discussed about the OPEX structures, and that we are currently giving a lot of importance to these operational expenses. And we don't know actually when the traffic will going to recover totally. So this is why we are also looking at the operational expense part very carefully. And we believe actually with our newest technologies and solutions, we can provide to you all these capabilities and functionalities at very affordable prices. So in the next slide, we are all discussing actually digitalization, and we are all trying to catch the digitalization trends. We see actually that also this crisis did not bring only problems and challenges. And we all saw that we had also many opportunities to improve and to change actually the existing environment, the technologies, and the infrastructure. Many airports and airlines, we have observed actually that they have used the time of low traffic for implementing their digitalization projects, and they have improved their systems. But the airlines, the airports, all the stakeholders had as first priority to gain back the confidence of the passengers. So we needed all to explain the passengers that the risk for disease transmission in aircrafts and airports are very low. We also have to improve our infrastructure by using touchless technologies. Simons also addressed this point. So implementing really touchless technologies helps us to increase the confidence, because just telling the passengers that they will be secure, it won't be enough. So we have to really make sure that the environment and the infrastructure we are providing to them should be really secure and healthy. In order to achieve touchless operation, we started using biometric technologies and also the computer vision technologies. So these technologies are not new, so we all know that. But the pandemic helped us to speed up the implementation of these projects. And we have used the period of low traffic for implementation of these technologies. You know, actually, TAV Technology is a technology company. And during this pandemic period, we have initiated many research and development projects. We have reassessed the data that we have, and we have tried to understand actually with the analysis of the data that we had, the new passenger behavior. And we have done actually a lot of proof of concept implementations in our airports. And actually, proudly, I can tell you that we have implemented the results of some of these POCs into our new solutions, like our new CAPS platform with BRS and the TAMS environment. So when it comes to analyzing data, so we have actually a really long experience with that, and we can really help the airports to define their different use cases to support them for increasing non-aeronautical revenues. So I would like to give you an example how we are doing this. So if you consolidate, for example, flight information with the sales data of your shops and restaurants, you are gathering an important information about passenger behavior. But this is nothing new, right? So we have been doing this actually since a long time, bringing the operational information, flight information with the sales information. But if you are doing this analysis with the historical data and also consolidate the real-time data that you are collecting with the IoT sensors, in this case, you can make on-time suggestions directly with your sales staff or directly on the screen of a POS device or cash register. So in that way, actually, you can directly impact the sales in the restaurants or shops and increase your revenues with these real-time suggestions. Big players are also doing it, right? So when you are purchasing, for example, something from Amazon, you see below the screen a notification saying that people who bought this also bought this and that. So we are also saying today, passengers for example, flying to a specific destination at this time, buying this, have also purchased something else. So we can really combine all this information, and we can make instant suggestions to the passengers, and we can really increase the sales in these shops and restaurants. And actually, this required an experience. So you had to have your experience as sales people in your shops and restaurants in order to achieve this goal. But the new technologies with big data concepts and machine learning prediction algorithms, now this experience is in your systems, and you can provide this experience to a newly hired colleagues, and he or she can also benefit from the experience that is stored in your systems. So actually, we have discussed many topics that are required in an airport, and if you are in an airport, efficient ground handling process, we all know actually it is a key for a successful on-time performance. So with our new platform, we are providing also airport and ground handling companies a complementary product to the classical airport software products, which is actually a ground handling suite. So, you know, actually some airports are getting this service from ground handling companies. Some are performing these tasks with their own staff. With the solution that we are offering now to the airports, they can do it directly with this software suite. So it is actually offered as a module of our new TAMS platform. But as I said before, like all other modules of TAMS, it can be deployed separately. So an airport operator can use the full TAMS suite with the ground handling capabilities, but also a ground handling company can directly get this ground handling suite and use it. This suite, ground handling suite, supports capacity and resource allocation functionalities in real time. So it provides you planning and rostering capabilities. The functionalities of this product gives you the capability also for planning, for example, your cleaning stuff, security stuff, or for any other planning task which has to manage multiple resources and different type of assets. As this application is a module of our new TAMS platform, it of course benefits from the latest technologies like the AI, machine learning, and cloud capabilities, and it is really supporting your challenging operations in ground handling systems. So, you know, actually, as TAV Technologies, I'm saying that we are a technology company, and maybe it's also worthwhile to mention that we are a certified research and development center by the Minister of Industry and Technology. And of course, we have some homework to do also as a certified research and development center. We are actively working on new solutions, ideas and innovations. So we are investing, of course, in new technologies and continuously targeting the optimization in the airports, which of course is reflected in the operational expenses and also in the revenues of the airport. We are also, in the last couple of years, really concentrated on using the computer vision technology. And we have integrated this technology in many of our products. From the picture, for example, you can see on this slide, one of our research and development projects where we are monitoring the air traffic, the aircrafts, their position and the speed. You can get actually a lot of many other information from the cameras and using the computer vision technology. And this information, of course, can be used by the airport management itself, but also by its stakeholders like ground handlers. It can be completely integrated into the ACDM platforms. So we have also an ACDM product, and it is also integrated with it. And it is definitely helping the stakeholders for better decision making. So here you can see actually other examples. So we are monitoring here the terminals from the security perspective. So for example, unattended baggage is a concern for all airport operators. And if you want to detect abnormal behavior, camera systems with computer vision technology help us. And we are using these technologies now with the CCTV solutions and also with additional cameras that you can implement in your airports. So we have actually already discussed about the queues and the waiting times, and today actually after the pandemic it became very important to discuss also the social distancing and the touchless operational needs. It became actually very vital for each and every airport to monitor the density in terminals. So the heat maps, we want to see actually where the people are, what are the waiting times, how many passengers are there and waiting. So it is actually very important to get all this information in order to have the full control over the airport and its terminals. You also want to see actually the flows of the passengers inside your terminals. We have, as I said, so we have invested also in this computer vision technology, and we have now a new product which has actually also received a couple of awards for the technology we have used and the algorithms we have used, which we call passenger flow management. We can provide you these capabilities like monitoring the waiting times, the number of people, and these flow in the airport itself. And as we are actually, I'm underlining this because as we are currently putting a lot of importance also to the operational expenses, I can tell you that we are really providing this solution also with really affordable conditions. So we have now integrated this product also into our product portfolio, and it will definitely help the airport management to collect valuable information, and this information can be again used to optimize the resources, act proactively to potential bottlenecks with continuous predictions, and it will notify you in case there are some issues or some predefined thresholds are exceeded. So I would like to switch now to our next topic, passenger behavior. Actually, we have already discussed the passenger behavior, so the satisfaction of these passengers was before actually mostly related with the efficiency and the speed of the airports. So of course, waiting in the queues or hard or difficult processes for security, this really did not have to increase the satisfaction of the passengers. But now the new priority is of course safety. So we have discussed about the touchless technologies and how important they become. But I can actually tell you that in airports, of course, also from our own experiences, we don't want to hand over the documents or our IDs to the security personnel, or we don't want to touch the machines that maybe were touched by thousands of people before us. Of course, we have implemented many procedures in the airports for the cleaning and so, but still, actually, we do not feel very comfortable when we are touching something in a public environment. So what we did actually, we have worked on remote scanners for IDs and passports, and the cameras, again using the computer vision technology, are reading these information from a distance. So we can actually read the content of these IDs and passports remotely. And we have started to utilize the mobile technologies more and more instead of papers, which I believe actually in the future is going to become more and more important. So we will be using the mobile solutions instead of the paper that we are carrying with us in the future. We have actually, since maybe 1 year when the first vaccination started around the globe, so it has actually, we all know that it has become very important, because we all knew actually that the cure will not be very easily there, but with the vaccination we can protect ourselves, and it will also increase or help us to increase the passenger numbers in our airports. So it was actually the answer to many questions, honestly. But when it started actually with the vaccination, then of course people had many ideas, and they came up with a lot of solutions with the mobile applications for health passports. I believe actually in the very first beginning, it created more confusion than support, because we have seen actually that many companies develop their own solutions and try to establish a standard. Even some governmental organizations develop their mobile applications for this. Actually, we have started to discuss and ask each other, so which one should we use? The one that we are using, is it going to be accepted by for example, another airport, another country, and so on. And we all, of course, had the questions in our mind: what happens with the information that is stored in these applications and about the data security? So in the very first beginning, I can tell you that it has really made more confusion than support. But there are now currently really good news to establish standards like in the EU and so. But what I believe actually what we need is a global standard, and all the governments need to accept one standard that can be globally implemented and used by everyone. I think this is very, very important also for the vaccination, and to open the borders for all countries. We have discussed actually the touchless operations and the mobile applications. I also want to give you some examples of such technologies, how these can be implemented in our airports. So we have, for example, implemented a solution which we call a pre-order solution, and another one is a smart gate order platform. These applications can be used to order goods or food, even when you are not at the airport, and have them brought to you where you actually are. So this is actually giving you the opportunity or the flexibility that you can organize your time much efficiently. Of course, this is also bringing a better performance in waiting time statistics, and it is also helping you to eliminate queuing, and also increases the passenger satisfaction, definitely. So when we look at the technology, so we are seeing a lot of different solutions or technologies that can be implemented as a touchless technology. Like we are using the RFID, face recognition, fingerprint, NFC, and many more. But it's actually good. Why? Because we can use these various technologies for different use cases. So it gives us the flexibility and the ability to find the most appropriate solution for passenger processing, document control, online payments, and as also a system integrator, TAV Technologies provides these self-service systems like baggage drop, automated boarding pass controllers, self-check-in, e-border, and e-boarding, using all these different kind of technologies. So actually, when I come to the last slide of my presentation, the final message that I want to give you is actually, as TAV Technologies, we are here to support airports and all the stakeholders with our system integration capabilities, our self-developed software solutions using all these newest technologies of artificial intelligence and IoT solutions. And we have also our operation and maintenance experience, and we can support you really with all this experience and expertise in your daily operations. So if you are interested in our software solutions and would like to see, for example, a demo of a solution, want to ask more detailed questions, or if you are actually ready to make a proof of concept in your airport, so we can implement a POC so that you can really test and enjoy actually the functionalities, capabilities of our solutions. We will be more than happy to assist you. So please call us, text us, and contact us in a way so that we can organize an online meeting and provide you more information and detailed information. And we believe together with your support, we can boost your operational power. I wish you all the best, and most importantly, of course, health and safety, and would like to thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, I would like to thank our speakers for their presentations and to all participants joining our webinar today. For further information, please email us at corporate@tavtechnologies.io. I wish you all a great day or night. Goodbye.